So you have to have, I say 3 things. I used to say 2, it's 3. You have to have the commitment, you have to have the will, you have the experience. So everything I've done in my life, I've been fairly committed. I've been in the government. I was a senior executive in the government. I ran worldwide operations at 23 sites. I wrote budgets. I testified before Congress. I wrote legislation that got passed to assist DOD. So I understand how things work, and that's really important. So you have to have the experience. Then you have to have the will and the commitment. And I started out coming from Philadelphia, went to Aberdeen Proving Ground, and wound up going down, driving to Virginia every day, 100 miles each way, 1,000 miles a week, and committed myself to working towards that. So I was one of a handful of senior executives. I was working in the Pentagon to make things better, streamline operations, get rid of efficiencies. So I've seen things that other candidates haven't seen. They don't know. They're not going to be able to jump in. They don't understand how the budget works. They don't understand how DOD works. They don't understand how the federal overall budget works. And so I decided I would be a good candidate because I have brought change and efficiencies to government. I looked at the state of the country and decided that it was going to be something I was going to try and do. Mm-hmm. So I know how to work with Congress. I know what it takes to get legislation done. I understand the budget and the deficit. I understand that we're going to have a $27 trillion deficit in 10 years, and that the interest on that's going to be more than the whole DOD budget. I don't believe the deficits need to keep growing the way they're growing. I think there's a lot of waste in DOD. I don't think we needed to spend an extra $100 billion this year on defense. Truly wasn't necessary. I think there's other efficiencies in government. So I support various issues. I would be a little bit centrist or moderate would be probably the best definition. I don't know that the average American truly understands that the short-term tax cuts are going to result in far larger payments in 10 years. You're going to be paying 10 times what you've gotten. Whereas we can reverse some of that now and give it to the corporations. And as far as, or take it away from the corporations where we gave them too much. As far as the opioid crisis goes, I would say far and away from the other candidates, they don't have a true appreciation for what it's going to take to resolve. You start talking about, well, we'll give you jobs, or we'll legalize marijuana, but it's really got to be a couple things, right? It has to be, first you have to stop the source. So you need some type of interdiction to lessen or get rid of the drugs that are available. And then what you have to do, and we have the affordable health care being turned back a little bit, you've got to provide adequate treatment. The current treatment today for a person that's on drugs is a 30-day visit where we'll get you past the withdrawal and then turn you loose to either your family or a halfway house. The treatment's not long enough. The care's not paid for. A 1-month visit, if you don't have insurance, will cost you $40,000. So you have to understand the steps. So it has to be the introduction, and then it has to be the treatment, and then it has to be the follow-up. And right now, we don't have those things. So all we do is we put a Band-Aid on it, and we tear it off as soon as we get the people out of treatment. I think if anyone wants to look at the candidates, look at what they're actually proposing, not just what they're talking about. As far as, I don't like the opioid crisis. What are they proposing? Geez, I can't thank Donald Trump enough. Because what he's done is unified the Democratic Party. He's unified the voters. The people that voted for him, some of the women that voted for him, no longer think that he's all that he can be. The folks that want to change, that want to get away from Hillary Clinton, who was set up as a lightning rod, they said, we're not going to vote for Hillary, so we'll take Donald Trump. I think they've seen how he's embarrassed the nation internationally, how he's walked away from the climate accords, how we have global warming, how we've expanded, offshore drilling access. I just see that he's turned everything and all the promises that he made to folks, tax cuts, etc. None of it's come to fruition. So I think Donald Trump will be a tremendous asset to the Democrats this election. Andy needs to be judged on what he has done and what he has shown for the people of Maryland. Andy is against Medicaid. Andy is not a strong supporter of the Bay. He talks a little bit. Andy doesn't know about things like the Conowingo Dam with the silt buildup, where we need to start addressing that, or we're going to have additional issues with the Bay. Andy's not for the Affordable Care Act. Andy passed we'll say that he did his part on the budget last August, yet we've had several shutdowns this year and no real budget until March 23rd of this year. So frankly, the Republicans are in control in both the House and the Senate. And the only progress they've made is to give corporations billions of dollars and raise the deficit and cause us to have to worry about our future for Medicare and Social Security. So no, Andy Harris hasn't done his job at all, and he hasn't supported the middle class or the people of Maryland.